Our mission is primarily a test mission, is really to check out flying the spacecraft to the space station, docking, and then checking it out while it's docked to make sure that it could be a safe haven. It can remain docked to the space station for a number of months. So there's a lot of activities that we will be doing, working with that. If we end up staying for a little bit longer and we get all of our checks in the block done for our spacecraft, we'll be happy to help out the guys who are up there on the ISS for whatever they're doing. I think Butch and I both like doing maintenance. We're tool guys, and so if there's anything that needs to happen for the space station, we are ready to do that. But our main goal for this spacecraft is really testing it out, shaking it out, not only going to the space station docking, but also then coming home. So it almost feels unreal. Like we've had a couple launch dates, and we've been like, okay, we're ready to go. But now it's like, heck, 5 days, and friends of mine are doing their countdown in their classrooms, and that's like, we're sharing this with so many people, which means it is actually finally real. And I sort of have to pinch myself a little bit to understand where we're going.
Toward the end of the day yesterday, I would say it was around 4:30 local time here in Houston, after they had performed some of the demos, we noticed a little bit of an increase in the helium leak rate that we talked about pre-launch. We could see at the tank level, when the system is opened, essentially you're bleeding helium from the tank all through the flight, and we could see that leak rate was a little higher than we had thought pre-flight. So we took a action that already exists in the procedures. The flight ops team, working with the crew, isolated all the manifolds. Then we did the final, what we call the TPI burn. That's a burn that puts us on intercept with the space station. And at that point, we started to see some loss of some of the reaction control system thrusters in various doghouses. These were all aft-facing jets that we lost. We don't necessarily understand exactly why we lost these aft jets, T2. So we ended up losing a total of 5 thrusters.
Based on what you know today, how confident are you that the Starliner will get you home safely, given the known helium leaks and the earlier thruster issues? And as test pilots, are you satisfied you have a workable backup procedures in place if the normal deorbit plan cannot be executed for some reason? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question, Bill, obviously. Yes, I'll say yes to all of those questions. We're absolutely confident. We've already, as Suni mentioned, for Safe Haven, we had that test, not just the test, but also to do it for real when we had that possible conjunction a few weeks ago. And we got in Starliner, we were ready to go. Everything's in place as far as what we know now. That is a good point. We are actually doing thruster testing as we speak at White Sands, New Mexico, going through that process, trying to replicate what we saw on that flight day 2 when we were rendezvousing, and we're going to learn from that, and we're going to incorporate new processes, new procedures that we will employ if necessary. So obviously right now we are ready. We will be ready then unless the data shows otherwise, but right now, based on what we know, we are absolutely ready.
Marcia, we've been through a lot of simulations for this spacecraft to, go through all sorts of iterations of failures. And I think where we are right now and what we know right now and how the spacecraft flew as it was coming in to do the docking as Butch described, I feel confident that if we had to, if there was a problem with the International Space Station, we can get in our spacecraft and we can undock, talk to our team, and figure out the best way to come home. Yeah, like I said, we've practiced a lot, so I have a feeling, I have a real good feeling in my heart that this spacecraft will bring us home, no problem. So I have confidence, Butch has confidence. We're here on the space station with our safe haven of Starliner. We are having a great time here on ISS. Butch and I have been up here before, and it feels like coming back home. It feels good to float around. It feels good to be in space and work up here with the International Space Station team. So, yeah, it's great to be up here. So I'm not complaining. Butch isn't complaining that we're here for a couple weeks, extra weeks. I'll just reiterate again, this is a test flight. We were expecting to find some things, and so we are finding stuff, and we're correcting it and making changes, making updates with our control team.
NASA has decided that Butch and Suni will return with Crew 9 next February, and that Starliner will return uncrewed, and the specifics in the schedule will be discussed momentarily. Space flight is risky, even at its safest, and even at its most routine. And a test flight by nature is neither safe nor routine. And so the decision to keep Butch and Suni aboard the International Space Station and bring the Boeing Starliner home uncrewed is a result of a commitment to safety. Our core value is safety, and it is our North Star.